Welcome back to our channel. Today, Paul and I are diving deep into a topic that touches all of our lives. The way we perceive and interact with health and illness.
It's really a conversation about stepping outside the conventional narratives that have shaped our understanding for centuries and reclaiming our inherent power as conscious creators of our reality.
We're calling this Transcending the Illness Game. And while it might sound provocative, it's an idea rooted in recognizing the powerful connection between our consciousness and our physical well-being.
Absolutely. In the grand theater of existence, many of us have, perhaps unknowingly, taken on roles that feel like a perpetual illness game. This production has been running for generations, with inherited scripts dictating how we relate to our physical bodies. We've been conditioned to see health not as our natural baseline, but as a fragile, temporary state currently under threat, vulnerable to the next invader, the next breakdown, the next diagnosis. Think about it. We become so deeply ingrained in this game that the very concept of cure has in many ways become just another move on the board, rather than the ultimate goal of ending the game entirely. We find ourselves chasing symptoms, meticulously categorizing conditions, and medicating manifestations, all while seemingly forgetting a fundamental truth. This game is, in fact, optional. The playing field we navigate is one of our own collective creation. What if a significant portion of the rules we live by were not written by the innate wisdom of our bodies, but by a collective thought form, an egregore shaped by a system that, despite its undoubtedly noble intentions and life-saving advancements, has inadvertently become committed to the perpetuation of illness rather than its eradication at the root cause. This isn't about villainizing medicine. It's about acknowledging that any system built around treating disease will by its very nature require the continued existence of disease to justify its own existence.
That is a really powerful perspective. And it brings us to the extraordinary power that resides within each of us. The power to create the power to create for our consciousness. This isn't some abstract magical thinking. It's an idea that aligns with what quantum physics has been suggesting for over a century. The connection between consciousness and physical manifestation. Your body is not separate from your thoughts. Every single cell vibrates in resonance with your beliefs, your expectations, and the stories you constantly tell yourself. Consider this. When you wake up each morning with the unconscious question, what might be wrong with me today? Your incredible biological system dutifully begins to search for the answers to that very question. Your immune system, your nervous system, your endocrine system, all listening, all responding to the subtle, often unconscious cues from your consciousness. The impact of this consciousness isn't just theoretical, it manifests in documented phenomena that conventional medicine often struggles to fully explain, often dismissing them as mere anomalies. We see it in the placebo effect, when a person's belief in a treatment alone can create measurable physical healing. We see it in spontaneous remissions, which often occur when an individual's fundamental relationship with their condition undergoes a significant shift. There are measurable differences in recovery rates between patients who maintain a positive outlook versus those who have a negative one. And let's not forget the well-documented nocebo effect, where negative expectations can actually produce negative physical outcomes. These aren't exceptions to biological rules. They are in fact glimpses into the true rules of our embodied existence. that have been obscured by our participation in the illness game.
And beyond our individual consciousness, there's an even more powerful force at play. It's the collective thought form surrounding health and illness that we are constantly immersed in. This egregore, this thought entity, fueled and strengthened by our collective beliefs, has become so potent that it can influence even those who consciously try to resist it. Every medical advertisement we see that normalizes diseases and inevitable parts of it in aging. Every conversation we engage in that catalogs ailments. Every time we unconsciously accept a prognosis as an absolute and an unchangeable truth, we are feeding this collective thought form. We are, in essence, strengthening the very game that keeps us trapped in cycles of symptom and treatment. The medical field, populated by so many compassionate individuals, has nonetheless contributed to the creation of this powerful egregore. The egregore views the human body as fundamentally flawed, inherently vulnerable, and constantly on the verge of breakdown. This isn't due to a lack of care from healthcare providers. It's a natural consequence of any system perpetuating the conditions that justify its existence.
So the crucial question becomes, how do we as conscious creators step outside of the game while still being able to benefit from the genuine and vital advancements of modern medicine when they're truly needed? The answer isn't about outright rejection, but about reclamation. It's about reclaiming your sovereign authority over your own physical experience. One of the first steps is to begin questioning the narratives that have been handed down to us. When you receive a diagnosis, instead of immediately accepting it as your new identity, say, I'm a diabetic or I'm arthritic, try to view it as useful information about the current patterns your body is exhibiting. Replace those identity statements with a transitional awareness. My body is currently exhibiting these patterns which medical science labels as X. This simple shift in language can be incredibly powerful. Also reimagine your relationship with symptoms. Symptoms are not your adversaries. They are the communication system of your body's innate wisdom. Pain, fatigue, inflammation, these aren't punishments being inflicted upon you, but rather messages asking for your conscious attention. Instead of solely seeking to silence them, ask what they might be trying to tell you.
That's so important, Lyn. And linked to this is the releasing the illusion of rigid timelines that are often imposed within the illness game. Phrases like chronic, lifelong, progressive, and incurable are often presented as definitive. But remember, these are primarily statistical projections based on studying the population of people who are also playing the illness game. They're not immutable prophecies that have inherent power over your unique journey, unless you choose to grab them that power. Furthermore, it's vital to cultivate vibrational sovereignty. Become acutely aware of the vibrational quality of your thoughts regarding your body. Are you constantly dwelling in fear, anticipating breakdown, mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios? Or are you standing sovereign in your consciousness, consciously choosing thoughts of renewal, resilience, and acknowledging the body's extraordinary inherent capacity for self-regulation? This brings us to perhaps the most nuanced aspect of transcending the illness game: the ability to detach from the medical egregore while still honoring genuine medical wisdom. This requires distinguishing between useful medical information, data, expertise, technological support, and the fear-based thought form that so often surrounds it. take data, utilize the expertise when needed, accept the technological support, but consciously filter out the limiting beliefs, the statistical determinism, and the subtle messaging that your body is somehow fundamentally flawed.
When we truly step outside the confines of the illness game, we make a revolutionary discovery. Cure isn't merely a side effect of external treatment. It is a natural, inherent expression of a consciousness that has remembered its own wholeness. Your body is in a perpetual state of renewal. Cells are constantly regenerating, tissues are repairing themselves, systems are rebalancing, all guided by profound intelligence that orchestrated your existence from two tiny cells into an incredibly complex miracle that you are today. This intelligence hasn't vanished, it's simply been overridden or obscured by beliefs and thought patterns that disrupt its natural flow. From this perspective, healing isn't primarily about forcing the body into compliance through external interventions alone. It is about consciously removing the obstacles, be they mental, emotional, spiritual, and yes, sometimes physical, that prevent your body's innate intelligence from expressing its natural state of balance and vibrant vitality.
Instead of participating in the illness game, I invite you to join us in playing a new game, the game of conscious creation. In this game, you consciously choose to speak to your cells with reverence and an expectation of their perfect functioning. You create a healing environments in your mind's eye before they manifest in your physical body. You release your attachment to medical identities while still intelligently using medical information when it's genuinely helpful. You recognize patterns of disease not as battles to be fought and vanquished, but as opportunities for deeper consciousness and understanding. And you always remember that statistics apply to populations, not to you as an individual consciously creating your own reality. This new game doesn't promise an absence of symptoms or that you'll live forever in your current physical form. What it does offer is something far more exciting. Freedom from the unconscious patterns that perpetuate unnecessary suffering and limitation.
Stepping out of the illness game requires immense courage, especially when the world around you continues to play it. You may encounter resistance, skepticism, and even concern from loved ones who are still deeply embedded in the conventional narratives around health and illness. But remember, your journey as a conscious creator has always involved seeing beyond the illusions that others accept as a fixed reality. This situation is no different. You can honor others' choices to remain in the game while quietly yet powerfully choosing a different path for yourself. Each time you decline to engage in conversations that normalize disease, each time you speak words of wholeness and health to your body, each time you question a limiting prognosis, you're not just altering your own personal experience, you are actively weakening the collective thought form that keeps being locked into patterns of unnecessary suffering.
Perhaps the most beautiful truth in all of this is that your personal liberation from the illness game is in itself an act of service to all humanity. As you demonstrate the possibility of relating to your body through conscious creation rather than fearful reaction, you create powerful ripples in the collective consciousness. You become living proof that another way is possible, not by denying challenges, but by transcending the very framework that perpetuates them. Your very existence becomes a permission slip, a silent invitation for others to question the game that they've been playing unknowingly. This is conscious creation at its most profound. Recognizing that your individual choices about how you relate to your physical vessel have implications that extend far beyond your personal experience. They contribute to nothing less than the ongoing evolution of human consciousness itself.
So we encourage you to step fully into your power as a creator of your reality. Reclaim the sovereign authority you have always held over your physical experience. And remember that in transcending the illness game, you are not rejecting science or medicine. You are expanding beyond their current limitations into a greater science of consciousness itself, where the true origins of both illness and healing have always resided.
The game truly ends when you make the conscious decision to stop playing it. And in that powerful decision lies freedom, not just for you, but for all those who will be inspired to follow the path that you are bravely illuminating.
The cure you seek has never been separate from the consciousness you are.
We hope this conversation has sparked something within you. If it resonated, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone you think might benefit from hearing this message.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more discussions like this and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our future uploads. We love hearing from you, so please leave your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below.
Thank you for watching. And remember, you have the power to create your reality. Until next time, think differently, dream boldly, and create consciously.